there are self-publishers around the world making hundreds and even thousands of dollars per month from their self-published Christian-themed books. And I know this because in the past, I've actually also published my own books in Christian niches, and I was actually able to get sales. And one of the most untapped niches anyone can publish in right now is the Christian coloring book niche. So today, I'll show you how to create beautiful Christian-themed coloring books that actually sell on Amazon. And at the end, I'll publish my very own coloring book so you guys can see the entire process from start to finish. So without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, so here I am on Amazon, and I went ahead and searched up a Bold and Easy Bible coloring book. And if we take a look at all the top sellers in this niche, they are all self-published. Like this book right here, making their owner roughly about $1,000 per month in royalties, which is just amazing. If we scroll down, we can see another coloring book, Cozy Christian Coloring Book, making its owner $25 in royalties per day with only 6 reviews. So as we can see, there are plenty of self-publishers doing very, very well in this niche. And if we look at all these books, they all have fairly low reviews, which means that there's still a lot of room for us to compete in this niche. If we check KipScout, we can see that it scanned the entire niche and it has determined that it is profitable. So we know that if we publish a book in this niche, there's high enough demand and low enough competition that we can actually make a profit. So now that we know the exact niche we're going to enter for this video, it's now time to actually create the coloring books. But it's usually at this point that people stop because they don't know how to actually put text onto coloring pages. If you want to create Bible-themed coloring books, it's very important that you're able to actually put the Bible verses on each page. But most AI image generators struggle with adding text to images. But today, I'm going to show you a brand new technique that allows you to put text onto any coloring page using AI, and the text actually comes out looking nice. So now I'm going to prompt ChatGPT, and I'm going to ask it for 40 Bible verses I can put inside of my Christian coloring book. And one thing I will say is that I've seen a lot of people online worried about copyright when it comes to creating these books. You really don't actually have to worry about it when it comes to Bible verses, as long as you're not using anything like explicitly copyrighted. So now I'm going to head into litpal.ai's coloring book generator, and I'm going to call this book Bible Verse Coloring Book, but I'm actually going to be using an advanced technique to get this book generated. So I'm going to scroll down here and select advanced options, and here I'll be able to put in text for each page that I want to be overlaid onto the coloring page. So now all I have to do is I have to copy one of these Bible verses, then I'll come here and all you're going to do is paste the Bible verse or motivational quote or whatever text you want to be included here, then select the text position. I highly recommend you go with central or focal right here. Top and bottom are okay, but sometimes the text comes out a little bit differently. So I would highly recommend you go with center because that's how we're going to be generating the book. And then for text style, if you want, you can actually prompt for the font or the letter style. All you have to do is just describe it here in the text style box. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to take a few minutes and I'm going to copy and paste all my Bible verses into the page by page customization section. And I'll be right back to you guys once I'm done. So I've gone ahead and I prepared my prompt for this coloring book. So I'm going to go ahead and call this book Bible Verse Coloring Book. I selected the number of pages to be 40 pages. I'm going to keep the art style onto no specific style for now. And then for the book trim size, I want to do this in 8.5 by 11. For the image quality, I'm going to do standard. And then for the page by page customization, as you can see, I've included all 40 unique prompts with the page text on each of them. And I'll have the text position as center focal for each of these pages. So now I'm just going to go ahead and press generate coloring book. And just like that, guys, after a few minutes, our 40-page Bible verse coloring book has been generated. So I'm going to go ahead and press view right here. And overall, I do think that the images have turned out very, very well, with all of the text being quite clear on all of these different pages, and the art that it shows looks pretty good across all these pages. But just like any AI tool, the AI can sometimes make mistakes. If we take a look at this page right here, whilst the art looks really, really good, it did slightly mess up on the words. As we can see, instead of saying, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want," it says, "Two shall pot want," which is just a small AI error that can happen every once in a while. So to fix this, we actually have two options. We can either regenerate the entire page, and likely on the second or third generation, it'll come out looking nice, or we can use the built-in editing page. So I'm going to press edit right here. And because I like the art, I want to preserve the art. The only thing I want to change here is the actual text itself. So I'm just going to use the drawing tool right here, and I'm going to draw over and highlight all of the text in the image. And then I'm just going to say replace the text in this image with the correct Bible quote. And then I'll just go ahead and press preview edit. And just like that, the AI has made the edit, and it did almost fix everything. It said now instead of saying "to shall," it now says "I shall," which is correct, but looks like it's still made that small error where it put a P instead of an N here, and now it says pot want. But luckily we can fix that too. So I'm going to go ahead and press the edit button again, and I'm going to just highlight over the word pot right here, and I'm going to say replace the word pot with not. And then I can just go ahead and press preview edit. And this time the AI has made the perfect image. Now the quote looks perfect. It says, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." And it looks really, really good. I like how the art came out, and we've been able to fix the text. Of course, on most of the images, the text does come out perfectly the first try, but every once in a while you might get a page that is slightly misspelled. So to fix that, all you have to use is, like I said, either the edit or regenerate buttons right here. But after you've gone through your entire book, proofread everything, make sure the pages look all right and the spelling is all correct, all you're going to do now is you're going to actually have to export your coloring book. So I'm going to go and press export PDF right here in the top right. And what this will do is it'll create a KDP ready file we can upload that actually adheres to KDP's print rules. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure KDP bleed is on, and I'm going to include a safe margin. I'm going to increase the margin a tiny bit. In fact, actually, I'm going to turn page outline on so I can kind of show you guys what that looks like. And then I'll press export PDF. And just like that, guys, our 80-page PDF version of our coloring book is finished. And as we can see, I think that it has turned out really, really nice looking with all of our pages on here. I did include a page outline just so I can kind of show you guys how the margins would look like for KDP. But overall, I think that this is looking really, really good. I'm liking how all the pages came out. The art looks good. So now that we finished the interior of our coloring book, it's time to actually create the book cover. So now that we finished the interior, I'm going to go ahead and generate a cover. So I'm going to go over here to the book cover generator, and I'm going to start customizing our book cover. So for the book type, I'm just going to have it on coloring book. For the trim size, I'm going to make sure I select 8.5 by 11 because that's the trim size my PDF is in. I'm going to call this Bible verse coloring book for adults. Then for the subtitle, I'm going to say it's a Christian Bible verse coloring book. For the page count, I'm going to increase this to 80 pages because that's what matches the interior. As we can see, we have 40 illustrations with each page having a blank page behind it. Then for the binding type, I'm going to select paperback for now, and then I'll do white paper as the paper type. For the cover style, there's a lot of different cover styles we can actually choose from here. Now, I want to actually show you guys a couple of different styles you can choose. Usually I just generate them in bold and easy, but because I'm aiming this book to be at like more of an adult audience, because it's not like explicitly a bold and easy coloring book, I'm actually going to show you guys a few different styles we can choose from. So I just went ahead and duplicated my tab 3 times. So I have a couple of different tabs here open with the book cover generator. So for the first book cover, I'm going to select the bold and easy style, and I'm going to generate the cover. The next one I'm going to try, we'll do Nature's Serenity. That looks pretty cool. And I'll press generate cover. And for the last one, I'm going to choose the cover style as, we'll do realistic. That looks really good. And then I'll press generate cover. Now I'm going to wait for these covers to finish generating, and I'll come right back to you guys once they're finished. And just like that, guys, all 3 of our different covers have finished generating from LitPal.ai. So let's go over the different covers, and I'm going to choose one that I like the best. So this is the one that was generated in the bold and easy style. One thing I can do is I can maybe change the spine color and remove the spine text. And overall, I think that this coloring book cover does look pretty good. I like the art, but since we're going for more of an adult style, I think I want to go for a more mature style. Whilst the art did come out really, really good looking, all the text looks really nice. I do think that this cover would look a lot better for like a kids themed coloring book cover. Here is the next one, and I believe this was generated in the realistic style. And for the spine color, I can just change this. We'll make this, I guess, green for now. And overall, I think that this one looks pretty good too. I really like the front cover art. I like this little scene that it has here. And then here is the last one. This one's actually my favorite. This one was generated using the Nature Serenity style. I'll go ahead and change the spine color and stuff. I'll make this like a dark green. But overall, I think this is my favorite one. I really like kind of like the style that it chose with the different plants around it and the title being right here in the center. Overall, I would say that this is definitely my favorite cover. So I'm going to go ahead and download this cover as a PDF. And the great thing about LitPal.ai's book cover generator is that the covers are pre-formatted for Amazon KDP. So this cover is actually in the correct dimensions for KDP's cover calculator. So now that we finished both the book cover and the interior, it's time to go ahead and upload this book to Amazon KDP. All right, so here I am on Amazon KDP, and this is where we're actually going to publish the book. So I'll press create new title or series, then I'll press paperback. And then once I'm ready, I'll fill out this entire form here where I'll put in my book title, subtitle, author name, and all of the important book information. Then once I finish that, time for me to actually upload the files to Amazon KDP. So for this, I'm going to make sure I have a free ISBN assigned. For the paper type, I'm going to do black and white interior. For the trim size, I'm going to choose 8.5 by 11. For the bleed settings, I'll do no bleed. And then for the paperback cover finish, I'll just do matte. And now I'm going to upload the manuscript and book cover file that we created inside of LitPal AI. And just like that, guys, both our book interior and our cover have successfully been uploaded. So now I'm going to make sure I confirm that this is AI generated content. So I'm going to go ahead and press yes right here. And then for texts, I'm going to say entire work with minimal or no editing. I'm going to say litpal.ai. Then for images, I'm going to do the same and I'll say litpal generated the images. And then for translations, I'll say none because there aren't any in this book. And then I'll just press launch previewer. And just like that, guys, our coloring book has passed all of KDP's print previewer checks. And as we can see, the coloring book cover has come out perfectly. Everything is perfectly aligned. If we check the actual coloring pages themselves, we can see that they are all within the bleed of Amazon KDP. So just like that, in only a couple of minutes, I was able to create a full coloring book generated by AI with fully formatted files using litpal.ai. So overall, I think that this book has turned out very, very good. And if I was going to go ahead and publish this, all I would do is go ahead and press approve. Then I'd press save and continue. And for the pricing, I'd probably set this book at around $9.99, which means I would earn a $3.15 royalty every time someone bought this book. Anyways, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you guys want to create Christian Bible verse coloring books just like the one we created in this video, go ahead and check out litpal.ai. Use the new advanced settings when you go ahead and generate your coloring book. Christian coloring books might be one of the more profitable coloring book niches you can get into right now on Amazon. So if you've been looking for a niche to start publishing in but haven't found one, I would highly recommend the Christian coloring book niche because there's a lot less saturation in there than other KDP coloring book niches. Anyways, guys, I want to hit 10,000 subscribers, so please go ahead and subscribe and let me know what videos you guys want me to make down in the comments. And as always, guys, stay publishing.